Much, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Gates, let me add my voice to those of the other senators here in applauding you, not just for the huge amount of money that you have provided all kinds of groups, but the innovative quality of your foundation that you and your wife had, and not just in the United States, but all over the world. You've done an extraordinary job, and I applaud you. Now, I'm going to take a little different tack than some of my colleagues, and I want to know how you're getting along with your dad. Because when we talk about many of the challenges that we're facing, we have to do it within the context of a country which has an $8 trillion national debt. And I certainly agree with you that we need more innovation in education in a whole lot of areas. They're going to cost money. So let me ask you a question. Your dad and Warren Buffett and others have been very loud and articulate in saying that repealing the estate tax, which would cost us about $1 trillion over a 10-year period, is not a good idea, that some of the wealthiest people in this country are doing just fine. They don't need for their families that additional wealth that repealing the estate tax would provide. Do you agree with your dad that repealing the estate tax is not necessary?
Well, I think there's very few people who speak out for a tax. You know, many people come and, you know, like I have today, said, okay, research is more important. We need to spend more on that. Education, although the federal piece is only a small piece of it, there probably needs to be more put into that. You know, and so those things do create budget challenges. In my dad's case, he's actually saying that there's merit in terms, for a number of reasons, including the revenue raised of that tax be preserved. I myself, in terms of, you know, speaking out publicly, have chosen the innovation issues that are key and trade issues that are key for Microsoft, and the global health and education issues that are key to the foundation. And so, you know, that's a lot. And, you know, so those are the things where I'm speaking out as much as I can. I do agree with my dad. You know, I think what he's doing there has got a lot of merit. He together with a colleague, wrote a book about the issue, which actually, after I read that, I thought there were a lot of good arguments in there that I had not heard before.
I won't ask you what your kids feel about it, but you do agree with your dad that repealing the estate tax is not a good idea. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes, I haven't chosen, you know, in terms of speaking out, I've picked, you know, global health, education, and some key innovation issues around Microsoft as the ones that, you know, I'm developing expertise and really putting the time into. But you know, I think what my dad has done is right, and you know, if I had a vote on it, I would agree with what he's saying.
Thanks very much. Let me ask you this, and this is a sensitive issue and a touchy issue. I think there is no disagreement on this committee or in the Congress that as a nation we're doing a terrible job in math and science, that it is a disgrace how few engineers we are graduating, and you have done a fantastic job in focusing on that issue. But there is another side of the coin where you and I may disagree, and I'd like your comments on that, and that is the issue of outsourcing. And that is, my understanding is that from January of, this is according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that from January of 2001 to January of 2006, the information sector of the U.S. economy lost 644,000 jobs, et cetera, et cetera. Also, I think you would probably agree that many major corporations, including your own, if they can hire qualified labor, engineers, scientists in India or China for a fraction of the wages being paid in the United States, they're going to go there. And we have quotes from people like Andy Grove and John Chambers, leaders in information technology, who basically predict that the IT industry may end up in China. Now, how do you address that issue? Understanding we are in agreement, all of us are, the need to do a heck of a lot better job in education, high school education, math, science. But isn't there still going to be a law, unless we get a handle on it, that companies are going to be running to China and India for qualified workers who are often paid a fraction of the wages they are in the United States?
Well, the demand worldwide for these highly qualified engineers is going to guarantee them all jobs, no matter where they're located. So anyone in the United States who has these skills, no matter whether they're born here or came here, not only will they have a super high-paying job, there will be many jobs created around them that are also great jobs. And so we should want to have as many of those people be here as possible and have those jobs that are created around them. We've been increasing our employment in the United States, and a limiting factor for us is how many of these great engineers that we can get here. And yes, that does cause a problem. The IT industry, I guarantee, will be in the United States to the degree that these smart people are here in the United States. And that's why I think it's important to maximize that number. By and large, you can say, is this country a beneficiary of free trade? And the answer is overwhelmingly yes. The fact, why can our inventions, whether it be drugs or movies or software or planes, why can we invest so much in those products? It's because we're able to sell them into a global market. And by having people of this skill level, we can have an economy that has very high defense costs, very high legal costs, very high medical costs, and yet continue to capture our fair share of the economic improvement that takes place. If we do things that artificially shut off our ability to engage in that trade system, then the impacts on our leading industries would be fairly dramatic. So we love these high-paying jobs, and our industry has continued to draw people into these jobs. We pay way above the prevailing wage rate because of the shortage that we see.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.